Ladies and gentlemen, what it do? I am your host, Young Bo Easy. Listen, man, I'd like to welcome you to the show, man. You tuned into the Knicks vibes, man. Tonight, coming off a loss, man. We played the Chicago Bulls in what turned out to be an extreme heartbreaker. Before we get into everything, man, I just want to say like, comment, subscribe, share with your peoples. And yeah, man, let's get into it, man. This game against the Bulls is pretty intense. So, normally I like to break it down by quarters and all that stuff, but the first half, man, plain and simple, was just the Broadway Barrett show. It was just RJ was in his bag. I mean, he just, you know how he do, he click it on. And this is the RJ Barrett that when you saw the contract, um, that you wanted to see on a consistent basis. And we all know, though, sometimes we get in our feelings sometimes. We passionate as Knicks fans and things of that nature, but we forget how he just is. It's a slow build with him. It's a slow build with him. It's soul food. This ain't no microwavable with RJ. So he always takes his time as far as the season goes, but every time around the December, January, he starts to pick it up and he starts playing real basketball. And today could easily be one of the greatest games of his career, honestly, so far in his young career. I'm talking about like shots from the outside, man. At this point during the half, he was 4 for 4 from deep. Mid-range fadeaways, man. Layups through contact, man. Dunks in traffic, rebound, solid defense. Man, I think third quarter was when he came through on Vucevic and listen, bless this man, all right? Um, as a team, at that point we shot good from deep, and they pretty much was shooting like we shot better from deep than we did on the field. That we did from the field. We shot 59 from deep and 53 from the field. So we were knocking our threes down. The only difference was they was knocking that down too. So you got to think going into that second half, you want to clamp down and things of that nature and just try to take that part of the game away from them. But man, listen, to end in this game in such a fashion, like it was just, I feel like we played great 36 minutes, maybe even up to 40, 42 minutes. It was bad execution at the end of the game. There was a rebound that we got that we could have sealed it. Grimes missed 2 free throws, man. And literally, as he's walking up towards the free throw line, I'm like, Grimes, knock your free throws down. This ain't Summer League. Because he played great in the Summer League, but he shot like 60% from the free throw line. And what does he do? He misses 2. I mean, I'm not one of those guys who believes in jinxes and all that stuff, man. If y'all want, say, listen, it ain't my fault, all right? But I'm just going with the evidence. He missed 2, but then Jalen Brunson, after, there's a layup, they need a 3. Zach LaVine goes and settles for the 2, and, tough play. And Jalen Brunson wants the ball on the inbound. He gets it. He gets fouled. Jalen Brunson goes to the free throw line and misses 2 in dire minutes. And like seconds on the clock. And DeRozan comes on the other side and does what Debo does. Grimes played the best defense he could. Fouled him and won, knocked down, left zero point 0.4 seconds on the clock. There's nothing you could do. All right? It's just, this is definitely a heartbreaker. Hey, man, listen. What I'm going to do is take it to the next segment of the show. Easy start of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what the vibes is. RJ Barrett. He still deserves praise for what he did this game, man. And 44 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 for 20 shooting, 70%, man. 6 for 6 from the 3-point line. I ain't got to tell you how much that is, right? As far as percentages go, man, that's 100. Come on, man. This is... it sucks when you got somebody playing so good like this. And Julius Randle, what? Like, I believe. Speaking of, let's get into the stats, man. As a whole, Julius Randle came through with 29, 12, and 3. So he had a good game also, man. Like Jalen Brunson just had a tough guard on him today in Io DeSumo, somebody who wasn't necessarily healthy the other 2 games. I think he played that second game, but that might have been like his first game back or something like that. But Io got got his conditioning back and a couple games under his belt and all that stuff, and looking like he's back to normal and played a tough game on Brunson today. So you got to give DeSumo credit, man. He had Brunson finished off with another 5, 6 points, man, we'd probably be talking about a different ball game because typically when all our guys score 20, we win the games, man. But he held him to 12 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. Quick came off the bench for this, he started last game, but now today back off the bench because Grimes was back. And another 15 points, man, 15, 3, and 3. And that's pretty much the sexy stats, man. On their side of things, man, it was 25, 7, and 10 for DeMar DeRozan, man. 21, 12, and 2 for Nikola Vucevic. I think he's the one that pretty much ignited them and added different dimension to that game, to their game immediately. Knocking that outside shot down, making it difficult for Mitch. Mitch couldn't necessarily stay in the paint as much as he would like to because Vucevic is out there dancing. And knocking shots down. Not dancing, but he's out there knocking shots down. So you got to follow him out there, 33, 4, and 3 for Zach LaVine. There's been some turmoil as far as the Chicago Bulls go and even some trade talks. And if things don't go so good, a couple East teams are going through this situation. So they've been reigniting what you expect from them. So Zach LaVine is coming back and playing some basketball. DeRozan is playing ball. They both had a good game today, man. I think just from the wing position as a whole, this was just a delight to see. It was just great basketball as far as from the wing position tonight. But yeah, man, I'm not even going to take too much time on this. Easy Star to show. You already know what it is, man. It's a heartbreaker for me, man. This is hard. All right. Next segment, ladies and gentlemen, the takeaways. First one, plain and simple, is free. It is free 99. What do you... We went 15 for 26 from the free throw line. 15 for 26. And I don't even think Mitchell Robinson attempted a free throw today. So you can't. This ain't something you could blame on the big man. These are our guys. This is Randle missing free throws today again. This is Brunson. RJ missed 3 free throws, but he had 44. Besides that and the turnovers, you can't say nothing about RJ today. Even Randle, but my problem with Randle, he's just been missing a couple of free throws for the last couple of games. You know what I mean? But today he's played a great game. But then Grimes and Brunson missing clutch free throws. It's not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? It's free. It's free 99 and we got to take advantage of this because going into the next takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, the league is on notice. We are, I'm listening to other analysts that you typically hear ready to down the Knicks immediately, and they are putting respect on the New York Knicks name. We got the league on notice. So it's not even about having these analysts they're not 100% on our side or just giving us compliments because it's not about that. It's just to say that now, what are we going to do? And this ties into the third takeaway. We need answers. How do we fare against top teams now? We can't blow free throws against top teams like this. And if we playing playoff basketball and we intend to go into the playoffs, us being the sixth seed currently right now, there's a lot of season left. There's a lot of things that could happen. But if we keep our identity, we can easily be a playoff team. So with the league on notice and them considering us, if we stay with this, if we stick to this identity as a playoff team, how do we fare against these top teams? We got Philly coming up for the Christmas Day game. James Harden is somebody who typically comes into the Garden and starts dancing and picks apart the defense with the simplest and most reliable play of the game if we're talking basketball. Pick and roll all day, and he dissects the defense every time he walks into the Garden. Are we going to allow that again? Because now the only top team that we got on our belt is the first win of that streak, and that's the Cleveland Cavaliers. Other than that, we played the Cavs. The Hawks is, below us, and we were expecting to win that game, especially when DeJounte went down. So you could say, at the end of the day, I'm not giving excuses for injuries because, like I always say, nobody's feeling bad for us when it's us having these injuries. So if you pulling up and your players is out, I don't care. You still gotta. We just play who's on the schedule. It's just plain and simple, and we win these games. You know what I'm saying? So we got Philly next. The dude just had 21 assists. James Harden just had 21 assists. And this is something that he typically does when he walks into the Garden. It's no less than 12 assists, like sometimes. Like he's racking them up, and then if he's scoring, but he's dissecting the defense. We cannot allow that from these guys. Embiid is playing great basketball. It's no surprise there. But we got to stick to our identity. We need answers on how do we fare against these top teams. I'm talking the Bucks. I'm talking the Celtics. I'm talking Philly, who's right ahead of us. All right? So now that I knocked out all three takeaways pretty much in one sitting, I could just jump to the last one, which is, we still waiting. What is going on? Like, we don't necessarily need the trade now. Like I'm not expecting whoever we're trading to get, rid of Fournier and Reddish or Rose. I don't necessarily expect this person to come in here and just, start playing. I don't even think this person is going to be a rotation piece. It's probably going to be some picks, maybe some second rounders involved or something like that, because to be getting the first, I don't know if the Lakers are that desperate for Cam. That's probably the only situation. I don't see anybody giving up first for Derrick Rose nor Fournier. But I just want to see some movement as far as that goes. And then you hear people talking about we could possibly give up picks to make a move on DeRozan, who's possibly unhappy with the Bulls, or the OG Anunoby stuff. So I'm still waiting. I don't even see, signs of talking or what's going on behind the scenes or anything like that. So I'm very, very interested to see what's going to be happening in these days to come, these weeks to come, because we headed in January now, and then the deadline is right around the corner. But hey, man, other than that, I think one more takeaway I could add is, listen, man, for the people that's voting, we could throw 3 All-Stars in for the Knicks, man. Listen, put them votes up in there, man. Let's see how many of our guys we could get in there. Because if RJ keep playing like this, you gotta throw him in there, man. And this is what we want to see from him. You getting paid that type of money now. I know that contract kicks in technically next year. But everybody feels like RJ can be an all-star player. So we just want to see this. Obviously, it's not going to be 40 every night, but this mentality, that Maple Mamba mentality, you know what I'm saying? That when he clicks it on and he got that look in his eye, that's all we need. I don't care if you go 0 for 10. But if you being aggressive the way he was being aggressive tonight, that's all we want to see, honestly. And I think every Knicks fan would be happy with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my show, man. Quick and easy. You already know what it is, man. I'm heartbroken about tonight, man. This when DeRozan hit that. I'm not even surprised because we put ourselves in that position. We had so many chances to close this game, and we just did not do that. We just didn't do that. So it is what it is, man. Win some, lose some. The season series between us and them is 2-1. Should have easily been 3-0, man. Easily, all right, man. But that's just the way it is, man. We still 6th seed. We got a lot more basketball to play. We got Philly, and then we got the Texas Triangle. So I definitely want to see what it is with this Philly game and see how we compete. Since we clicked it back on with this 8-game winning streak, I'm always going to say that I want to see how we competing against these top teams. All right, I wanted to see how we was competing against the Kings and all that stuff. See if it was real teams that pick up the pace. But now we see that this is legit our identity. We still putting the ball in the hoop. You know what I'm saying? And we play defense. So now it's just how to show it against these top East teams because honestly, the East teams is looking better than a lot of the West teams right now. And I feel like if you throw our record on the West side, I think we would be a higher seed if I'm not bugging. So, hey, it is what it is, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Young, Bo, Easy. You already know what the vibes is on this side, man. Love, gratitude, positive attitude. And after that Philly game, I'll be here to give you my breakdown. All right, you already know what the vibes is. Catch you on the next one.